Hi, she's Trixie, and I'm Sarah, and this is Our Yarn World, a place where we come to share the love of yarn crafts and what it gives us and what we hope it gives you. We are in episode 73 today.
Yes.
73 today.
Yes.
And we are coming with you with a tag.
Yes. So today's tag is from the Secret Yarnery, Christa. She is requesting that YouTubers and subscribers maybe get involved in this, and so we just thought we'd have fun with it. And it's called 10 Crochet Questions, the August version. If you want to get involved, you can put hashtag 10C questions to have Christa watch your video. And so we're gonna go ahead and start and maybe just do this like shotgun style. I don't know. There's only 10 questions, and they're pretty good ones. So I'll ask and then you start off. How's that?
If you would like, sure.
Okay. So number 1, are you a morning star or a night owl?
So I wrote down all my answers because she gave the tag questions to me early. And I said, depends on the day or season, but currently I'm a night owl. Though with school around the corner, that will have to change slightly. Normally, I'm up, I can see 1 o'clock on a regular basis. Normally, if I got to bed by midnight, that's good for me. But as a stay-at-home mom, the quality time I get to be by myself at night when my husband goes to bed because he wakes up in the morning is crucial if I'm going to be able to recharge, because I am an introvert. So
Yep.
I appreciate that downtime, and it can be some of my most productive hours too. So I accept it, but it's not that I've never been a morning star. Like I said, I'm about to have to start changing things up, and if I have a morning schedule that produces the same levels of ability to recharge, I know I will be fine.
Yeah. I'm more of a morning star, but I do more of my crochet in the evening watching TV with my husband. So, number 2, what is your favorite time of day to crochet? I shouldn't have even... Well, I got myself ahead of the game, but go ahead.
I said all day as the opportunity presents itself.
That's true.
Nap time or in the evening, night time is probably my most productive crocheting times. But to say that I don't crochet throughout the day would be a lie.
Right.
It's all based off of my energy level and how, kind of how focused I am on getting the project done. And normally I have smaller projects so I can walk with them. Right,
that's true. Like I said, my favorite time of crochet is to do it in the evening when my husband and I are watching TV. Mm-hmm. Number 3, what crochet items would you suggest making to sell at a craft fair or online?
Oh God, I love this one. I love pillows. I love holiday pillows. You know, you can be really creative with this. Over the last several years, I've made flower pillows. I've made conversation heart pillows from Valentine's Day. Yeah. I've made, the Santa advent calendar. I've seen people do gingerbread house pillows, Christmas present pillows. You can make, oh Lord, what was it? I wrote it down. Why am I even doing pumpkin pillows?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a holiday, but if it follows a theme that you love, you really can make just a big 3D version of it that can just be a throw pillow. And it's such a convenient way to be able to celebrate either something you really enjoy, or like if you like pink hearts, or if you like, like my daughter, or I could make her a unicorn pillow or something. Like with my son, I could make him a Dr. Seuss pillow or something. It's one of those things where it's like I could make the striped cat in the hat and just have it be a throw pillow. it's just one of those things where it's so versatile while still being something soft, and it doesn't really take up a lot of space.
Right.
And so because you can, and for holidays, what a simple way to be able to be creative
and festive.
And, as an item to sell. A lot of people enjoy the idea that they can have something as simple as just changing out a pillow for the holidays.
Yep.
You got like Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, and I'm sure, and this is just more of the holidays that I celebrate, even Easter, to do like an Easter basket. I'm just saying, I was even thinking, for people who, enjoy a hobby, so, the Secret Yarnery, that lady has, a subscription pillow, or even,
she's got a pillow that says subscribe.
Yeah, it's a big red, rectangle pillow that has subscribe on it, the actual subscribe button.
It's so cool.
But I was even thinking, people who really enjoy going on boats, you could make a life preserver pillow that's an actual,
there you go.
That could be a good throw pillow for you, or even an anchor,
or a sailboat,
or it could be a boat. They can get really detailed, and it still will hold its shape. I just had another one, but there's even succulent pillows where you can actually make each petal, and because it domes down, you can put it into the crook of the arm of a furniture, between the back and the arm and the bottom of the seat, and it's just one of those, it really just sits there well.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel with a lot of people, functionality while also having it be something that they can display proudly.
Yeah.
A lot of people like blankets and stuff like that because they can display them proudly. I feel pillows are just as functional, but are funner and easier to store.
Yeah.
While also still being refreshing enough that it's a simple thing to pull out and enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. I would be the one who makes the blankets.
Yep.
So that would be my suggestion. Number 4. Have you ever attended any crochet events?
I'm unsure. I've been doing this for such a long time. I've been to craft fairs and even crochet fairs where they're selling that stuff, but it was never an event just to sit down and crochet. Right. I've planned days where I was going to do nothing but crochet, whether it be alone, family, or friends that I hung out with. Yeah. But I know that there's other places in the world where it's literally an event. Everyone goes out onto the streets and is sitting down and crocheting and knitting, and it's a communal pastime event. And I've never been to anything like that. Not that I wouldn't enjoy that if I had the opportunity to. Right. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And my answer is no. I've never been. Number 5, do you snack while you crochet?
All the time. I feel my favorite one is chips, goldfish, but candy. But I also eat things like pizza and meals while I eat. I live in a house with toddlers, so I always have wet wipes. And so I just kind of keep that close by to kind of
wash your hands,
wipe my hands off. Mm-hmm. Even a washcloth that you can just wipe your fingers off with and just keep going.
Yep.
I know that if you are looking to have snacks that don't leave residue on your fingers, a good place to go if you can't find good suggestions on this side of YouTube is to go to BookTube.
Okay. Because
a lot of people who read while they eat or
while they read.
Yeah. There's lists and videos I do believe on snacks you can eat that don't leave residues on your hands while you're reading. Yeah. And I feel that would translate well here.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I snack while I crochet, but I also have something to wipe my hands off because I don't like even the feel of food or stickiness or oily fingers on my crochet hook. I don't even like that. But
What is your favorite?
oh, my favorite is, I don't know. I tend to go for things that are dry, you know, whether it's saltines, something like that. Something where it's not a greasy food.
It doesn't leave residue in your
Yes, yes. Okay, number 6. How do you choose the colors for your projects?
Normally through themes, or I am matching to my inspiration. So like a lot of things I make end up already have a pattern, or I'm drawing inspiration from a prior thing. So a lot of times, if you know, like the Santa hat, like I understand that was a pattern, but like you're gonna use white and red,
Yeah. That's just going to be the color.
But like even while I'm looking at the other projects I'm doing throughout the year, I'm going to be pulling it from what I am getting inspiration from, or what I am trying to match or recreate in my own yarn way.
Right. I do it by getting the favorite colors of the people that I'm making the blanket for. Or I go into my craft room and shop my shelves and just see what colors will go good together at the time.
Like weights of yarn, or
Well, I usually have four ply. So, but the thing is this next blanket, well, the next two down the line, because I have a next blanket already in mind right now. But the second next blanket is going to be a fall themed one, and I do have the colors for that, and it's kind of all in a basket already, because when I got the colors from the thrift store, I just kind of threw them into a basket, so I'd already have them ready for fall. So that would be how I do that.
okay.
Number 7, how do you stay motivated during big crochet projects?
So this one I feel kind of bad about because I said deadlines.
Yeah.
This channel,
Yes.
or I don't. I either just completely give it up, or in spurts. Like I pick it up and I put it down, and I pick it up and I put it down, and I pick it up and I put it down. There is projects I currently have on my shelf that I have been doing that with, where it's like, I don't know the last time I showed this project off, but it's a very lace khaki blanket that is like a lace blanket. I have showed it before, but like my hope is that it reaches my king size bed size.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where it requires a certain yarn.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a pastime that's kind of relaxing, and when I have other things going on that demand my time, I can put that down because this is more of a project for me and my husband.
Right.
So I can set aside over time, not require a deadline, and so it just is kind of like as I accomplish it. And that in and of itself doesn't require me to get it done fast, it just needs to get done over time.
Right.
So it's between motivations like that where I just already know I'm going to be committed to it regardless. If the project is not either vibing with me or is not capturing my attention, it won't end up getting done.
Yeah.
Or I'm committed to the deadline that I have agreed to, or this channel helps me kind of keep focused.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm at. Knowing that we have to have progress to show on the channel helps me to keep going. But also if I've got a birthday coming up, Christmas coming up, like when I made the blankets for each of the grandchildren last year for Christmas, I knew that they all had to be done by then.
Yeah.
Even though I did them in the beginning of the year, I have 5 grandchildren. I had to make sure that I had the time to make all 5 of them each a blanket.
Yep.
So, that's kind of what keeps me motivated. Okay. Number 8, if you could use only 2 colors of yarn, what colors would they be?
Okay, so I have twos. So like it would either be black and white or blue and brown or like a khaki. So it would be either one of those two.
Yeah. My two colors would be pink and teal. Number 9. Where is your favorite place to crochet?
At home. At home.
My favorite place is at home, but it's also my chair. It's where I do 99% of my crochet. Well, I shouldn't say that, because I do bring it other places 95% of the time. I have it all set up for me. I have my yarn in a section down underneath my table in a basket, and I just pull from that and I just keep going. And so that's my favorite place to be. Okay, and let's see, number 10. What crochet project have you made that you could make again and again? Your favorite?
It'd either be pillows or amigurumis.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that in some ways pillows are what I would stick with, because they offer enough of a challenge while not requiring so much detail.
Yeah.
Like, I love amigurumis, but they are also small, and so the details are smaller. Whereas with pillows, even though it could be a detailed thing, it's a little bit larger to work with.
Yeah.
So if I had to be left with one thing, I probably would end up going with pillows, even though I love doing amigurumis. That one's kind of a hard one to choose. I'm glad I don't have to.
Yeah, there you go. Mine would be blankets. I go back to that every single time. And so, yeah, that's my go-to. That's my thing that I do. That's what I'm known for. And it's just very homey to me. That speaks home to me. Cozy blankets. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's the 10 questions. I will put those in the description area. And yeah, so we just wanted to be part of this tag. Now, as the second part of our video comes to play, we just usually do a scripture and discuss it. But if you wanted to just head to the next one, go ahead and do that if you don't want to hear what we've got to say about the scripture that we're going to read. But for those of you who are staying, the scripture today is, "She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness, giving counsel and instruction." That's found in Proverbs 31 and verse 26 in the Amplified version of the Bible. So, she opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness, giving counsel and instruction. That sounds like a mom, doesn't it? Just a little bit to me. Or a woman of influence, somebody who influences you very well. Could be a pastor's wife, could be an aunt, could be a grandmother. My grandmother was very influential in my life. Taught me the Bible, taught me about Jesus. And she was, she had godly wisdom. She had the law of kindness. She was very tactful in how she told me things, but she did it kindly. And she, I never had a problem with that. Giving counsel and instruction and whatever she had to do for me, she did it biblically. And that I am so proud to say that I knew her and that she helped raise me. I'm glad that she was part of my life.
She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness, giving counsel and instruction. So my mom showed me this when I walked in. We were filming at her place. And honestly, what is speaking to me about this has much more to do with, she opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom. She crafts what she's very mindful of what she's saying.
Yes.
She has very influential wisdom here. because, it's godly. And then on our tongue is the law of kindness. I once read a book that was on the law of kindness. I gave it, I had let someone borrow it, and they never gave it back to me. But it brought up several points I don't think I'd ever really realized. So to me, it's kind of controversial when you're talking about the fruits of the Spirit. All of them. There's 9. There was a scholar that I had read from. They were missionaries that explained that in their studies that one of them was literally had a doctorate in the Apostle Paul. So kind of knows a thing or two. They explained that unlike the other texts that Paul was writing in, the fruit of the Spirit was in their own personal tongue, something that they didn't have a conclusive word for. So when they were saying the fruit of the Spirit, Paul was describing what he was trying to say because he did not have a word for it.
Okay.
So we, over the last 2,000 years into our Western thinking, have now made it almost a fundamental aspect of the Christian life to make it a nine fruits of the Spirit, whereas he wasn't trying to promote that. He was trying to describe what this fruit would be like. It would have these things in it.
These characteristics.
Yes, exactly. And granted, I don't really think it's harmful, but that's also not what he was trying to say, and that's all the point I'm trying to say here. But when I think of the law of kindness, I know this is in Proverbs, but I think about that because out of all the fruits of the Spirit, a lot of people jump over kindness. They kind of have their own identification as to what kindness is, their own personal take on what kindness is, that they don't actually grasp biblical kindness and what that is actually representative of. And to actually see kindness be expressed in this manner, even in the early Old Testament, kind of is very unique to me, because the law of kindness out of that book, the representation of what that would look like, was so interesting because they explained it as almost like an empathetic truth. So empathy is, of course, kind, but it's also tactful, and it's but you can have sympathy and lie. Empathy you can't. Kindness you can't. And that's kind of like that whole aspect of you kind of not want to let someone down, so you lie to them.
Right.
Whereas with empathy, you're much more of like, I see and hear what you're feeling, and I want to be kind to that, but I also have to, and I'm not going to dismiss what you're going through, but kindness tells me that I also have to tell you the truth as well.
Yeah.
It's not harmful, and it's not out of the aspect of not being willing to censor, because kindness also understands what and how to reach people's needs and how to actually address hard truths without just being disrespectful.
Right. And isn't that just kind of what the projection of a mom or an aunt or a grandmother would be?
I look at it as more of, there's a lot of people that
nurturing.
That a lot of times in the Psalms, wisdom is personified as a woman, and I think that even in the older cultures, there was even the men who wrote these scriptures had some sort of understanding as to the wisdom that women in their lives brought them. Even like with Timothy and his grandmother and mother. Right. Like there is a lot of women, Mary, Martha, Mary Magdalene, you have Esther, you have all these different women in the Bible that whenever you heard about them, did they make mistakes? Yes, but they also learned from it. And you saw this overarching arc that, like, women are, and a lot of times in the Bible, are behind the scenes, but the fact that, like I said, in Proverbs, wisdom is generally personified as a woman does prove a narrative that men did see that. Men did see that women held a lot of wisdom, that they would even be willing to liken it as to a woman who is standing in the square, talking and being, realizing that she could be labeled as ridicule.
Yeah.
Because she might not be heard, because they might not want to hear what she has to say.
Right.
But it doesn't take away the fact that it's there.
Yeah.
The law of kindness. I feel like that could be its own Bible study. Like I've said, I've done Bible studies on kindness before, and I've gotten a book about it, and it was really good. It was very interesting study. Like I said, it had a lot to do with empathy and truth telling and addressing truths in a way that allowed you to practice practical kindness.
Yeah.
And how that would look, and how that would look in relationships and look in your everyday life. It was a very awesome book.
Well, and even the sign that I have with the fruits of the Spirit on it, with the 9, and it's 3 by 3, right? It's right in the middle of all of the fruits of the Spirit is kindness, right in the middle. So,
and then giving counsel and instruction. She's going to be a problem solver. I kind of look at that as that, like, you know, she's very mindful and skillful about the wisdom that leaves her mouth. She, on her tongue is the law of kindness, and when she is giving counsel and instruction, she is offering a solution.
yeah.
She identifies a problem and then she solves it.
Yeah.
And she is, you know, it sounds like a woman that's quick to hear, slow to speak.
Yeah.
A woman who, you know, wants to help and not just be right for the sake of being right. I do believe you can see this in mothers and in women who do heavily nurture in their families.
Yes.
The nurturer in the family is generally the mother. Not to say that it can't be other people in the family.
Right.
But I think that this speaks of just... She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness, giving counsel and instruction. This is in Proverbs 31, so it's generally trying to represent the virtuous wife. That's part of the reason why it's saying it in she. But I also, like I said, there is a benefit that that the woman or the nurturer of the home, even if it's not the woman, follows in these traits to be able to guide her to how she wants to resolve things, because if she is the nurturer, she is leading her children up in a way that allows them to be able to deal with their hard emotions, deal with how to express their emotions, deal with how they are going to problem solve, and how they're going to be socially, and how they're going to behave to adults and behave to their authority figures, and handle their peers and handle those that are underneath them, that they do not disrespect them. This comes from a person that wants to actually take the time to guide them well.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear from this. And that could be a counselor, that could be a therapist, that could be your best friend, that could be...
Yeah.
Like, that could be your sister, that could be the neighbor down the road, that could be the woman that just called you up, or even the nurse that really kind of picked you up after they realized that you were having a hard day coming in, or it could be the smile. Mm-hmm. And it's just, timing is everything, and everything in its time, and it seems like the person who is has a good way to be able to grasp this does recognize that. And I think that this is a really good verse.
I do too.
It is, she opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness, giving counsel and instruction. Proverbs 31:26 in the Amplified Version.
And it will be in the description area.
I think if any of us were to achieve this, we would want to find ways that we personally hold. You know, if we're going to be able to pour out into other people, we have to be able to pour into ourselves in some capacity. Like sometimes the ways that we talk about ourselves has to be kind, and the way that we have to deal with our homes, our home life, and deal with how we receive counsel and how we receive instruction is a really big thing. Right. There's no problem with being curious, and there's no problem with being able to question what you're doing. But there's an aspect to realizing when it's actually helpful and actually being willing to take that, because if you're going to expect people to follow you, you have to be able to be a follower. Right. And know when it is appropriate to do that too. Modeling that behavior. Well, that's one of the things that me and my children have been doing, is that if I do something wrong, I have to be willing to say that I am sorry, and that I ask for their forgiveness, and that I open an opportunity for them to help me problem solve, so that I don't have that happen again. Right. And it's been very interesting to see even my little daughter just be like wanting to engage in that conversation to help mommy problem solve, just as I help her problem solve.
Right.
Mommy, take some belly breaths. Mommy, do you need to go into your room for a little while? Mommy, how are we going to do this? Because that's what I do with her. Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, she's being kind to me because I've taught her what kindness looks like.
Right. Well, I forgot one part of the tag. We were supposed to tag YouTubers, and we were supposed to tag subscribers. And that probably should have been right after that, the tag, but we're going to do it here. Do you have a YouTuber that you would like to?
I've never actually spoken to this person, but one of my favorite crocheters on YouTube is a man by the name of Fiber Spider. And so if he does tags, I know I would definitely follow this one. He generally loves to crochet with very colorful yarns, like what is it called? Variegated and ombre yarns. So I kind of wonder how he would respond to like some of the yarn questions, or if he's been to events, because he normally makes shawls, and I think that would be kind of cool to see what his responses are.
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking of someone right now, but I cannot remember her her channel name right now.
Can you look it up on your phone?
Yes. All right. And then any subscribers that you would like to have maybe do this.
I know that we have some friends that follow us, Jane and Roxanne and Crystal. Mm-hmm. And Phyllis, you know who you are.
Yeah.
I know that we have a subscriber, Marilyn.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I know that we have others that have subscribed to us before, and we have conversed with you before. We love our giveaway winners, and
one of them was Christa, one of them was Marilyn.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And the YouTuber that I was trying to think of was Anya from Ophelia Talks. And if she's watching, or if she can do this tag, that would be awesome. I would love to see the answers on hers. And yeah, all the people that she named, I'm going along with that. So anybody from our subscribers, if you want to answer in the the comments. We would love to read your answers. And I'm going to be putting all these questions down in the description area.
No, I welcome anybody who's been following us for any length of time, obviously, to feel more than welcome to just answer. Like, the whole, like I say in the beginning of every video, you know, we're just talking about yarn and what it gives us and what we hope it gives you. Like, we close out with, you know, we hope it, you know, kind of like a shout out to mental health, because this has always been a very good outlet and anchor point for us when we are in a dark time, to be able to just pick up a piece of yarn and be able to make it something despite how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And so for anybody who just is like coming into yarn crafts or has been doing it forever, no matter what their bent is or what they like to craft, I just think that this, being able to kind of question yourself and get to know yourself. Like, when I was thinking about some of the things I was going to answer with, even like the pillows and stuff, I was just kind of thinking, man, I really like making pillows, and just how fun that would be for me to be able to just have nothing but a closet full of pillows to sell. Like, I don't know why, but that just like it hypes me up, because it's like, oh my goodness, it's just gonna make someone's day. And for some reason, that just does it for me. Or it's like, if I'm able to make one more gumdrop to put on this gingerbread house pillow, this is gonna make someone so happy. And for some reason, I'm just like, yes. So,
I thought of one more person for the subscribers, Serena. And if you're watching, if you want to comment, go ahead. If you don't, that's okay too. But we're looking forward to any answers that we do get.
All right, well, we are going to close out. We actually had a decent amount of time today. We've been trying to get our videos a lot closer to the 30-40 mark, because it's easier for us to load them, and obviously for most people to be able to watch them. But a lot of times we favor the longer videos when we watch any of our crocheting buddies on here. So we just kind of don't care to some point. But, you know, we hope that to anybody who has made it to the end of the video, thank you.
Yes.
To anybody who will follow along this tag, thank you. To, you know, thank you for the Secret Yarnery to make this tag. I found this tag really fun.
Yeah.
And if this is just August,
No, I think she's going to do it every month.
Right. If this is just August, I think that maybe we could make this like a monthly thing where we kind of just do a tag.
Yep. I'd like to do that too.
So, all right. Well, we are going to close out, and we hope that you guys have a good rest of your day. We're hoping to see some comments to see what you guys are doing and how your questions differ from ours. And as always, we hope that you stay safe.
And stitch away
to mental health.